Hi guys, welcome back. Today we'll try out this potli bag or potli pouch. It's got a lining. You can store things in it. You can use it with an ethnic wear. We'll also be making tassels or latkans, and we'll be stitching also the strings to pull. So let's try out this beautiful pouch. Let's check out the materials required to make this. We'll require 2 pieces of main fabric measuring 9.5 by 8, 2 pieces of lining measuring 7.5 by 8, 2 pieces of fabric measuring 4 by 4. This is for the latkan. We'll also be requiring 1 golden lace measuring 23 inches long, 2 pieces of golden lace measuring 6.5 inches long, and we'll require 2 pieces of golden thread measuring 20 inches. So the first thing that we'll be doing is we'll take this 4 by 4 inches material. It's for the latkan or the tassel, and we'll fold it in half like this and again in half, and we'll make a circular mark over here. I'll just clip it as of now. We'll take the main fabric, fold it lengthwise, and also we'll just clip it now. So this is what we'll do. Now what we have to do is we'll take this fabric, latkan fabric, and we'll make a circular mark over here like this, and we'll have to cut this. Now we'll take the main fabric, and in the corner we'll just curve it a bit so that we get a rounded edge. We don't want a perfect straight edge, so we're going to mark it and cut it. So we have done that. We'll open this, we'll open it half, and we'll cut it in the center, so we get 2 semicircles out of one piece. Now we'll do this for the other piece of fabric also. Now the main fabric, it will be like this. Now we'll do this for the remaining piece of main fabric and the 2 lining fabrics also. Will be cutting them. So this is what we have cut, the main fabric and the lining fabric. Also we have cut the semicircles like this. Next we are going to take the main fabric. We are going to place it on the lining fabric. Main fabric right side facing up, the lining fabric right side facing down. We are going to join them like this and make a straight stitch mark. Around ½ inch we are going to make a stitch mark. This is a straight stitch mark. Now we'll do that for the other piece of main fabric and the lining fabric. Similarly we'll be joining them and making a straight stitch mark. We'll do for both. We'll take the semicircle and we'll take the lace and we'll keep it like this on the circular edge. The good side, that is the zigzag side facing inside. We'll make a mark like this on the outer circle like this, and now on this we are going to place the lace, the raw side facing out, the zigzag side facing inside, and we are going to make a stitch mark. So first we'll make the straight stitch on the main fabric and the lining fabric for joining them. So this is how it is, a straight mark. We have joined them. Just cut the thread. Now the latkan fabric, we'll sew the lace like this and we'll finish it off. We'll also cut any extra fabric or lace, whatever is there. So we've done that, and it will be looking like this. Now we'll take the main fabric that we have joined and we'll just mark 2.5 inches below the stitch mark. on both the sides like this, and like this 2.5 inches below the stitch mark we are going to make a marking like this. Now we'll take the lace, the long lace, golden lace, and here around half inches inside on the circular side we are going to place the lace and stitch it. Again the zigzag side inside and the raw side facing out. We'll do this completely till the other mark that we have done. And we'll take the semicircle that we have just stitched, take the other semicircle, and right sides facing each other we are going to shut them like this and make a stitch mark on what you have already done, the right side facing inside and the lace sandwiched in between. So we'll make a stitch mark. It's a simple stitch mark. We'll preferably do it on the mark that we already did while stitching the lace. So this is a simple straight stitch mark that we'll be doing on the circular edge. We finished doing that. Now we have to turn this thing like this, but before doing that we'll just make small cuts on the outer circle so that this we can comfortably turn it inside out, and we'll turn it like this. Now we'll just neatly pull out the lace. This is how it will look. We can iron this in case we want to, or else we can just finger press the whole thing. So this is done. We'll just keep this aside. Now we'll stitch the lace on the main fabric. So start and stop with the back stitch. We'll stitch it from below the mark that we did. This is also a simple stitch that we have to do, and we'll finish it off also with the back stitch. So I've done that. Just pull it out, cut the threads. In case there's any extra lace, we can just cut it off. So I've done that. Now what we'll do is we'll take the other fabric like this, and we'll place them right sides together and match the stitch marks like this, and we'll clip it. Now the other side also similarly, the stitch marks we'll put them together like this, and we will clip them like this. Now we'll clip the entire fabric together like this, the lining fabric also on all the sides like this. We have clipped the whole thing. Now what we are going to do is, the stitch marks are there in which we stitch the lace. We are going to make a straight line over there. So that is, you can see, around 2.5 inches below the join marks of the main fabric and the lining fabric. So here we are going to make a straight line, and above this line around 3/4 inches we are going to make a mark like this. Around 3/4 inches above the line that we just did, we are going to make another mark, and again we will just make a straight stitch joining the two marks. Now this is the place that we will be passing the thread from for our potli. Now we have to stitch all around, but we are not going to stitch in these places. Also on the lining fabric we are going to leave for turning. Now we are going to stitch all around, stop over here where all the marks are there. We are not going to stitch. So we'll just make the stitch all around. Wherever we have marked, that is the 3/4 inch mark, we are not going to stitch on both the sides. Also the lining fabric which we left for turning it inside out, we are not going to stitch. Rest the entire pouch we are going to stitch it all around. So we are finished doing that. Just cut the threads. Now what we are going to do is, this is left open, and these two side corners that we have, sides that we have left marked, we are going to leave it open. So we are not stitched over here. Now what we have to do is, we will have to turn the pouch. So we have turned it, and this is the opening on both the sides. Now what we have to do with the opening is, we'll slowly put our hand inside like this, flatten the cloth on both the sides of the opening, and we're going to stitch all around the stitch. We are going to secure it. We are going to secure this opening, and we are going to do this for both the sides that we left, the 3/4 opening. So we have done this. It looks like this. Now we are going to stitch the lining. That's done. We are going to push it inside. We have to push it inside, so we will get a slight cloth from the inner side. I'm going to make a top stitch like this. The main fabric will be little on the inner side, around 1 inch to 1/2 inch, so that it looks nice when we see it like this. So now what we want to do is, the opening that we left on both the sides, a 3/4 inch opening, from one hole to another hole, we are going to make a straight stitch. From one opening to another opening, we are going to make a straight stitch. So we will be having a 3/4 inch stitch over there. What I have done is, now I have turned the pouch inside out. I have made a marking on the lining like this, and we are going to make a straight stitch. So this is a straight stitch. It looks like this. Now what we need to do is, we will take the thread, that is a golden thread for the string that we need to pull. We have to insert the thread into these holes. From one side we are going to insert it like this. We will just run it through the entire thing. This is for what we left the 3/4 opening. Now we got it out from the other side, but we will again insert it from the hole over there, and we will get it out from the same side. So from the side that we inserted the thread, we are going to pull it out. So like this, we are going to pull it out from the same side. So we are having the starting and the end, the beginning and the end of the same thread on the same side, like this. Now we'll do it for the other side, but for the other side we will insert the thread from the opposite side. We'll insert it from the opposite side and get it out from the opposite side. So they both are on the opposite sides now, and this is for pulling the pouch. Now we'll stitch the latkans or tassels. For that we'll keep the threads together, and the raw edges of the thread and the semicircle will be outer side, on the outer side. On the inner side the semicircle will be, we have to make a straight stitch on the raw edges. Just align them properly and make a straight stitch on the raw edges, so the semicircular side comes towards the pouch. The raw edges of the thread and the tassel that we stitch will be on the outer side. We are going to make a straight stitch. We have to make a back stitch also, and we have to secure the thread also properly, the golden thread also properly. So now that is done, we are just going to pull it out and cut any extra thread or cloth that we see. We just have to cut it so that we can have a neat finish. And now what we are going to do is, after cutting the thread, we are just going to turn this tassel. So this is our latkan or tassel, which is absolutely ready. We will do that for the other side also similarly. So now this beautiful potli bag or potli pouch is absolutely ready. We can pull it with the threads to lock it, and we can also open it. This goes very beautifully with ethnic wear. So please do try this potli pouch or potli bag. And thanks for watching. Bye.